Hello, everyone. I'm like literally bouncing on my couch right now. Welcome back to a new episode of Synced Up. Let's get cozy over here. How are you guys? Okay, so many updates. Life is worth living, bitch. Let me tell you. Life is really, I have goosebumps even just thinking about it. Wow. So I know I've been a little bit sporadic with the content, with the podcast, but we're back. We are freaking back. I have so many things to share with you guys. I don't want to share them just yet, but I just feel like literally all the work that I've put into myself, into my life over the years, especially this past year, all the lessons that I went through that I spoke about on this podcast, I feel like I've integrated them and now I'm really reaping the rewards, which just feels so surreal. And I genuinely wake up feeling so grateful. Like it could make me emotional if I think about it too much. But I went through the ringer last year. Okay. Like I went through so many lessons. And when I was going through it, I always knew, like, okay, this is happening for a reason. I know that I need to learn this. But it just felt like I would, you know, something shitty would happen, let's put it that way, even though it was all happening for me, not to me. But, faced some challenges, got back on the horse, and then would get kicked off again. And this is actually something I always teach in my Pilates classes, especially when we do a challenging move where you're going to lose your balance, you're going to wobble. And I encourage the ladies, sometimes the men if there's men in the class, but I encourage everyone in the class to try to find the wobble, like find the imbalance, find the place, like actively try to make mistakes by trying, by putting yourself out there, because that's really like where you actually get to learn. And I feel like each time I made the mistake or I fucked up or whatever it was, it truly just propelled me forward. Like yes, it maybe felt like I was taking one step back, but then it's like a boomerang. You go back one step and then you just explode forward. And especially with this year of the fire horse, I try not to put too much weight on astrology or things like that. Like I try to really just be present, and if things align with the stars or whatever, then that's cool. But I will say the synchronicities with the timing of the fire horse and the snake year, I really did feel like I shed this whole layer of myself, and now from this place of like rawness and newness, life is just accelerating. But it couldn't have accelerated if I was still holding on to really, like, I think it was more identity. And I will get into that maybe in the next episode, because I really do want to talk about the importance of identity and how it can help really bring your manifestations to life, like your desires to life, and just accelerate you forward. Should I just talk about that? I was going to talk about ADHD and Adderall and that kind of stuff, but I'm kind of feeling this identity situation. So, you know what? I'm going to pivot. We're going to be talking about, excuse me, we're going to be talking about the importance of identity. And I've actually been feeling really burnt out by podcasts, like podcasts about self help and just like that type of vibe. Even though I really like it and I always want to be better, I'm just feeling really kind of turned off by that content. But I have been really into M on the Brain. She is a podcaster and neuroscience expert. She got her PhD. I'm just obsessed with her. I love her energy and I think she's awesome. I've been listening to her podcast about neuroscience. And one thing that stuck out to me that I truly like, it's changed the way that I think day to day, because I can definitely overthink. I can become frozen with like, oh my God, I feel so overwhelmed. I feel so anxious. I just don't even know what to do. Or I'll let a thought, like an anxious thought, kind of take over my mind and then grow legs and run a marathon. And then before you know it, I've spiraled for hours. And something that grounds me that I learned from her is that your reality is an illusion of your mind. And she explains it through neuroscience. And I'm not going to try and explain that right now. But and I did test this out though, because I remember, let's take it back. All right, story time to kind of nail in this example. But I really want you guys to hear this because adopting this mindset has literally given me so much control and power back. It's like a way to call back your power when you're overthinking, when you feel powerless, when you're just like, you know that feeling when you're just so in your head, you're like, fuck, I can't escape my own mind and I feel like I'm giving all my power out to something external. I want to call it back and feel grounded. This is what I do. This was the week, we're taking it back, the week that I was moving from New York to Miami. And if you don't know that story, I put it in a podcast episode before this. And essentially, I had to make this last minute, super spontaneous decision to move from New York to Miami. And I had 7 days to find a place to live, get approved. I couldn't even tour the building. I couldn't tour the apartment, just had to like truly wing it, pack up my entire life, say goodbye to people, even though I really didn't say goodbye. I kind of just Irish exited. I had 1 week to do that. So within this week, as you can imagine, I was stressed as and on top of it, I was in my luteal phase. That was the real kicker, to be honest. Everything else was like a piece of cake. The fact that I had my luteal was just, that was really the icing on the cake. And I was getting ready to go out with my girlfriends, my New York girlfriends, Maddie, Estelle, and Claire, for one last hurrah. They were truly the only people I said goodbye to. So I'm getting ready for dinner. I know that I already felt at this point in my life, this was like December, January. I actually was just looking at photos from December 2025, and I literally look like a different person. My body composition has changed because during that period of time, right before I was moving, like Q4, I was really, really stressed out. I was really anxious. My nervous system was extremely dysregulated. I even was able to track it on my Aura ring. Like my HRV was super low. My heart rate was very high. And I was very in fight or flight for an extended period of time. And my body was holding on to so much water and just like puffiness. I legit look like a different person. I'm going to post on the synced up Instagram so that you guys can get a visual. And anyway, so I was not feeling my best. Luteal phase on top of it. Crazy combo. And I was just like, you know what? I want to feel really good. Like, I don't want, because also with the luteal phase, I do think a lot of it is mental. And I remembered hearing M on the Brain say, your reality is an illusion of your mind. What you tell your brain is what will project into your life. Like, your life is a projection of what's going on in your mind. So I knew that this was going to be my last night out, and I wanted to just feel so good. I had like my hair done, I did my makeup, I had a really cute outfit, and I was like, you know what? I'm literally just going to speak to myself in the mirror as I'm getting ready and tell myself, like, I am so hot. I'm so confident. I'm in amazing shape. I take such good care of myself. I love the way that I look. I'm so beautiful. I radiate beauty. Like, truly just giving myself these words of affirmation. And I did feel good. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, I choose to feel good. And that's the crazy part about all of this is like, you can choose and decide at any time to flip the narrative. Just how easily it is to say, wow, I hate how I look and I feel so down about myself. It's a lot easier to go down that route. It does take more effort and more brain power to choose the positive affirmation. But I swear, I went out that night. I was getting compliments from all the girls. I was just feeling so good, really feeling magnetic. And I I can tell when my energy is on. I've been doing this for so long now. I've been meditating, doing breath work, like really doing all the wellness, spiritual practices, like taking care of myself spiritually, energetically. My hygiene is top. So when I go out, I can almost immediately feel how people are picking up on my energy just by looks that I get, by literally, I can just feel it. Like, I know, and I can turn it on and turn it off. And the quickest way that I've been noticing that I've been changing my reality is by reminding myself that reality is an illusion of your mind. And I've applied this also when I'm worried about someone being mad at me or overthinking a situation or a conversation. And I'm like, they probably have, first of all, no idea that I'm overthinking this way. Their perception of our interaction is so different based off of even like the day that they've had, the conversations that they've had. And you just have to remind yourself, like, what's going on in your head is so like nuanced to you, and you can change it at any point. If you want to change the narrative to be like, actually, no, that conversation went great. I'm so fucking cool and normal and chill. No one is thinking about me in a weird way. And I handled that like a normal person. I was normal and chill and cool. I've literally had to like write that down in my notes. But the second that you start speaking to yourself that way, it's also telling your brain to run a specific program. So when you're speaking to your brain, saying these positive things or telling yourself the goals that you want to achieve, or just literally telling your mind how you want to feel or what you want to accomplish or whatever, your brain is a yes for everything. If you're telling yourself, ugh, I'm so poor and I can't afford anything, your brain is just going to experience confirmation bias and filter your reality to support these beliefs. But the more that you can just stay mindful of how you are moving, then your brain is going to start working for you. And also, it eliminates this like stress and anxiety. And this does kind of tie into Adderall and ADHD and anxiety, which I guess I could talk about too. But I did want to discuss about like just my relationship with Adderall and how I've used it for my benefit and also how it's sometimes contributed to my anxiety and what like my experience with having ADHD. But I do think that having ADHD, it definitely makes me more hyper focused on like I'll get hyper fixated on a conversation or on a person or on just something and I can get so in my head and get so distracted, and it can really just like take over, I think, more than like the normal person. And it also works to my benefit because I'll get super into something and go balls to the freaking wall, like on a project or on just something that I'm really passionate about. But it's like a double-edged sword, right? So when I do get into those modes of, oh my God, I'm overthinking, I'm hyper fixated on this, I can't get out of my own mind, it's giving me anxiety because like it's just so intense. I just try to ground myself in that reality is a projection of what's going on in my inner mind. So, something that's also helped me work through this has been this exercise called JournalSpeak. And I actually discovered this from Elizabeth Origo of The Wellness Process. I love her podcast too. I listen to it every single week, and she's a huge proponent of JournalSpeak, which is this aggressive journaling exercise. Essentially, you set a timer for 20 minutes. You do this every single day, and you write down all the thoughts, the things that you would want to say to someone else or say to yourself, or just like the things that you truly would never want anyone else to hear. And you just get it out on the page. And it has been linked to curing all these like autoimmune diseases, or not curing, but like really finding relief in chronic disease, chronic illness. And it's been really healing with just helping my identity and helping honestly regulate my nervous system, help my body come back to baseline. Again, when I was in New York and going through this whole experience of moving and transitioning, even before that too, my nervous system was really dysregulated. And doing this journal speak, just getting everything out. And it doesn't even have to be related to like body image issues or whatever you're going through, but it just has helped every area of my life. And I swear, because my nervous system is now more regulated, using journal speak as a tool to help with the regulation, my life I've just been I don't even want to say manifesting. It's just like things have been falling into place. And I really think it's because my nervous system is regulated. So my signal is clearer, my energy is cleaner, and from that place it makes attracting opportunities to you more effortless. And I just feel like I'm operating at a higher version of myself, where the opportunities that I desire, I can actually see it. Because when you're stuck in that fight or flight and that dysregulation, your brain's only job in that moment is to keep you safe. So you're just, you're kind of like tunnel vision for keeping you safe, and you're not open or able to even see the opportunities that are around you. It's really crazy how our brain works and how it filters, and it's just like, it's such a tool. Like, if you have control over your mind, and I say this in my Pilates classes too, because that's like the one time where you can really practice, or it is an opportunity to practice having full control over your mind and connecting it to your body. Like when you're doing a challenging move and you have to be so focused on your balance, on your core. Otherwise, you're going to fall over. Like, that is how you control your mind. And when you have control over your mind, that's honestly the biggest flex, because you have control over your emotions. You can regulate yourself. You can use your breath to regulate. And from that regulated space, that's when solutions and people and opportunities can come to you, and you can actually see it. Because there's so many times where like we're stuck in fight or flight, and our brain is not going to filter for creativity or abundance or flow, because we're just focused on being safe and coming back to safety, that we're missing it. We're almost blocking it just because we're so caught up. And that's not to say that we're expected to be in a regulated state 24/7. That's impossible. And it's actually good to have that hypervigilance and fight or flight, because that is what keeps you safe. But I think it's when you're in that fight or flight or dysregulation for a prolonged period of time, that's when it can start to work against you. But we do need our ego. We need that sense of fight or flight to keep us safe and to protect us. But we need to also close the loop and close the stress cycle, because otherwise you're just going to stay in that, and that doesn't do anything for you. But tying this back to identity shifting, I feel like when I've done JournalSpeak and been really consistent with it, and I'll give you an example, because when I was first doing it, I was like, I don't feel like I'm doing this right. And it honestly calls on you to be so radically honest with yourself. And then once you hit that point, and you'll feel it, where it's like, oh, I just went there and I didn't realize I could even do that or go there or have that in me, then it's like, oh, I can say whatever the fuck I want. But I remember I was doing the journaling practices, which is better than nothing. It's almost like a muscle. Like you have to do like 5 sessions of it before you're like, oh, I'm getting the hang of this, from my personal experience. But I remember I got into this big fight with my mom and my stepdad, and I was just so angry. I was so angry. And I was like, you know what? It was like a burn book. So I got out my JournalSpeak and I just said, truthfully, love you, mom and Rudy, my stepdad. I said the most fucked up things in there. Like things that I would never want anyone to see or hear or actually say to anyone. I like couldn't believe that I even had that in me. And I was just saying like all this, like truly what I was thinking. And then after that, I felt so much better. And what you do afterwards is you rip up the piece of paper and you throw it out, so truly no one is ever going to see it. It's very liberating. And then once I did that, I was like, oh, I can go there. Like, give yourself permission to go there. And I swear it like does something to your body. It does something to your mind. And then once I started getting into the hang of that, I was like, oh, I can be honest with myself and just get rid of all this energy that I'm holding on to. And then from that place of like clarity, also, yeah, just from that place of clarity, I feel like you can really just own who you are. It's like because you're being so real with yourself that it's like, oh, I can be real in other areas and like show up more authentically and not have to pretend or perform to be something or someone, which is also very liberating and very magnetic. Like people can feel when you're performing or just trying to be someone that you're not. And doing this exercise has allowed me to practice like just owning who I am. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the ADHD. Like I've been told my whole life, like I have so much fucking energy. Like my energy is a lot. And it is. Like I I can be a lot. And that is okay. But like It's so funny because I think I used to go for people, like even in dating situations, I would go for people that like couldn't, like I would go for really low energy people or people that were like super, super introverted and couldn't handle me. And it was almost a self fulfilling prophecy of me going after people that I knew it would never work out because we were so incompatible just because of how I am. But what that reaffirmed in my mind is like, oh, I'm too much. Like that is going to be my downfall, you know? But then once you finally just start owning it, you stop attracting those people and you stop going after those people because it's like this is who you are. And I think for a while I almost like didn't want to accept that, or I tried to change myself, or I tried to prove myself or win the approval of others in order to feel like, oh, I'm like okay and I'm good. And ultimately that's never going to happen. It's really an inside job of you like accepting yourself and being good with yourself, and then once you truly are, then you attract people that like support that belief and fulfill that prophecy, you know, of like, yeah, this is who I am and like I'm good with that. And if you are too, that's amazing. And if not, that's okay too. So that also has to do with like owning your identity. And also, if you're wanting to manifest something new in your life, like for instance, I'll give the Pilates example. I, for a year, was like, what, and this is also insane because I got my teaching certification last year. I tried working at Fuse and I just like was not ready whatsoever. I was really intimidated and I just didn't have enough experience under my belt. 1 year later, I'm literally like living in Miami and teaching at Fuse. I have my time slots now. Like it's just wild what can change in a year. But for the entire year, I did procrastinate. I kind of took a break from wanting to teach Pilates because I felt so discouraged. And then I was just like, my therapist was talking to me. I miss her so much because we can't work together anymore because she's not licensed in Florida. So sad. But she was the one who really encouraged me to go back out and try again, because why give up on something that you love? And it's okay if you fail. You learn through it and it's not a failure. But I just kept affirming to myself, like, I am the it Pilates instructor. Like, I am a kick ass Pilates instructor. And I started making that my identity. And once you, or like even doing the podcast, like, you have to make it your identity and truly believe that it's your identity. Start living and choosing actions, making decisions from that place of like, what would the it Pilates instructor do? What would a podcast host do? And then live from that place, make decisions from that place. And it doesn't have to be like this big change overnight. It can literally be like a small little shift. Even if you want to be a content creator, like choosing to just post on your story, like just start to take little actions and also affirm to yourself. Like the affirmations really do work, but I will say putting yourself in real life situations that push you to own and show up as the identity that you are wanting to show up as, that is going to, and like even in your brain for the neuroscience in it, that's going to create new neural pathways that reflect this new identity, and it's going to seal and stick into your cells a lot more deeply and a lot more quickly than just doing the affirmations. But the affirmations are a great start and they will probably help you gain the confidence to take the actions that are in alignment with this new identity. And then once you put yourself in that situation of being in this new role, this new identity, that is going to just catapult you forward. For instance, it's like me saying I am the it Pilates instructor repeatedly, believing in that, and then how that will impact my actions is I'm going to start teaching Pilates to my friends, or I'm going to start creating new routines or a new playlist. And then once I teach a class, so that I'm feeling more confident because I'm taking these actions that are in alignment, and then boom, I get an audition to teach a class, or I get a community class. Teaching that class and then showing up as the Pilates instructor, teaching the sequence that I had been practicing on my friends and in my head, playing the playlist that I had perfectly curated for this experience, that is going, and then again, reaching that point where you get the audition, teaching the class to a real community, that's going to catapult you forward and really seal in this new identity. And then from there, it's really like, oh my God, anything is possible. Opportunities are then going to find you because your energy, your thoughts, your mind are now more in sync they're synced up literally with this belief system. So then when you are vibrating at this new energy, at this new frequency that is a higher place than you were before, who you are when you are just repeating the affirmations versus taking the action as that person, it is two different frequencies. And you will start to then attract opportunities or go after opportunities and feel just more confident going into it. And then from that place, it's like, oh, truly anything is possible. And it's exciting. It literally feels like the world is your oyster. There are limitless opportunities for you. And it's really just like, okay, getting clear on who it is that you want to be, what you want to do, taking the small right actions. Like, what is your identity? Working with yourself, speaking positively to yourself, making that a habit, and then watching how your reality will start to reflect it towards you. And then once it does, then it's like, oh, you get this confidence boost, and it's like external feedback from the universe being like, yes, this is right, keep going. And then again, if you make the mistakes, if you wobble, if you fall, whatever, like that is okay. Do you know how many mistakes I've made, or like fallen off the horse and didn't want to get back up because I was scared or I was embarrassed or I didn't want to face rejection? Like all of it, it's so normal, it's so human. But like, get back on the horse. Like, just do it anyway. You can do it scared, you can do it like unsure. But I think it's just measuring the time in between falling off or feeling embarrassed or whatever it is, letting yourself feel that, but not wallowing in it, and then getting back on the horse. That period of time represents your resilience. And the more you close that space of like, I'm embarrassed, I fell off the horse, whatever, you have 24 hours, get it together, then get back on the horse. The smaller that period of time, that measurement gets, I think is a great way to measure your resilience and just ability to keep going, your consistency. And all that to say, you're going to get triggered. Like, you are going to fall off the horse. It is just part of life, and that's okay. I think creating a standard with yourself of like, I can never fall off. And if I do, like, then I'm a failure, whatever. Like, I think that's really just going to hold you back. And I've had experiences like that where I'm like, oh my God, I'm spiraling. And I've been in this spiral for 24 hours. It's not that you're never going to spiral again. It's not that you're not going to overthink a situation ever again. It's really just that period of time from when you get triggered to like coming out on the other side. And sometimes you just need to talk to a friend. Sometimes you need to journal speak. Like, know the ways that you can start to shorten that period of time, and you'll start to feel a lot better. But please, like, don't expect yourself to be perfect all the time or to never get triggered, because you're going to, and it's okay. Like, give yourself permission to get triggered. It's okay. It's really the lesson and the opportunity is not like staying calm and not getting triggered ever. It's making that resilience period smaller and smaller, because the smaller it is, the greater your resilience and the more you're going to just keep propelling forward. So, yeah. I have no idea how this episode came together, but I'm really happy with it. And I hope that you guys are too, and had some good takeaways or are thinking about something differently. I'm really excited to get back into the podcast and to have you guys all here building this community. And I just really appreciate you guys being here. So if you liked this episode, please leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I'm really excited to be back. Again, thank you for being here, and I will see you next week on a new episode. Love you guys. Bye.